Hello everyone, welcome to your favorite podcast, Watetr. I am your host, Sainteran, today, Timilara. In the last episode, we talked about a topic, word in season. The reason why it was named word in season is because this is a particular message that should go out in this time and season because of where we find ourselves, because of the season we find ourselves. In this part of the world, we have moved into the rainy season, so information needs to go out to address the public, that is to let them know what is going on in this season, how to prevent, control, avoid, eliminate whatever needs to be done to make sure that unfortunate incidents do not occur. I promised the last episode that we are going to talk about diseases that emerge from flooding. So we are here today to talk about these diseases. So grab a cup of coffee or a bottle of water. Just relax while you enjoy this particular episode. So, flooding can increase the risk of many diseases. That is why we need to know at least 3 of these diseases to have an idea of what we should be looking at and what to prepare for. Number 1, we have waterborne diseases. There's so many, but we're going to be talking about cholera. The reason why we're talking about cholera is because in this present time, like right now, we have outbreak of cholera in Nigeria. And the reason I feel like we have outbreak of cholera is because of this season we are in. There is water everywhere, rain is falling, stagnant water, things like that. That is why I feel there's an outbreak of cholera in this season. Yes, we do have rainy season every year. We do have these cases, but they might just be minor. We might just have minor cases there. But this time and season, we have a major outbreak. We have a major outbreak in Lagos, different parts of Lagos, Lagos Island, Etiosa, Ikorodu, and some other places, which have also been confirmed that some neighboring states also have the outbreak of cholera. And I believe it's from traveling. Those people that are infected do not know that they are infected, so they move into another state thinking, oh, it's just a minor thing, I just have, my head is just banging, I have a headache, okay, let me just use paracetamol. From there, so many things can come out. They only feel like, oh, it's just a minor thing. Rather than going to the clinic, they feel like it's something they can just self-medicate and stay at home. And I'm sure they didn't even know that it was going to escalate like this, that it was going to go beyond what they can handle. So let us talk briefly about cholera. Cholera is a highly contagious diarrheal disease caused by bacteria, Vibrio cholerae. It's always so interesting to pronounce it. Vibrio cholerae. Yes. In Nigeria, it occurs mostly during the rainy season, and more often in areas where limited water and sanitation facilities are made available. So, it's either rainy season or a situation where limited water and sanitation facilities are made available. How is cholera spread? Cholera is spread by ingesting food or water that is contaminated by the feces of an infected person. You see how we're talking about open defecation in the last episode? In the last 2 episodes, we talked about open defecation. We talked about, that's actually 3 episodes behind. We talked about open defecation. In our last episode, we actually gave scenario where people dislodge their fecal matter into the drainage system. When there is rain, they just release it there, believing that, oh, it has left their premises. They don't have any business with it again, forgetting that it's going to other people's premises. From there, You might have a family member that will be in that premises and brings back a disease from that place, from what you've caused, back to you. So what goes around can actually come around. So we need to be very, very careful. So when there's a case of cholera, how do we characterize it? Well, cholera is characterized by profuse watery diarrhea, that is rice water stools, with or without vomiting. It's not all cases that have the presence of vomiting. It's not all cases. So it can come with or without. And severe cases, they can lead to death within hours due to dehydration. When you're talking about dehydration, loss of water, when you keep going to the toilet constantly, you're releasing fluid. So it's always watery. Water is always tied to the feces. What I mean is, water is always tied to your shit. When you are shitting water. So you tend to lose amount of water. It's fine to lose at a particular time, but when it becomes constant and consistent, you keep going like every 5 minutes, every 2 minutes, you begin to lose more than what you're supposed to lose. So it leads to dehydration, your tongue is dry, your throat is dry, you look pale, things like that. When we're talking about prevention of cholera, get clean water from reliable sources. Reliable. There's a reason why reliable. People that, whenever I drink that water, I don't have issues. Whenever I drink that water, I don't have running stomach. I don't have to complain about the taste and things like that. Having clean water is a lot. Yes, it is a lot. I went for a program recently where they mentioned we will soon start buying water. And in my head I was thinking, I can't be buying water. Water is free now. It's not God that gave us. But this person made something very clear. He said, if you want a clean water that is absence of Vibrio cholerae, water that is absence from hepatitis A and some other diseases, it needs to be treated. It needs to be made clean and wholesome for use. But if you want the free water, you can definitely get free water. But you have to face the consequences of having bad health. That means your health begins to deteriorate. That means you start falling sick, you start having different types of things coming for you. So the water you can get that, this person's water is good. And one thing also is, even where we get packaged water, sachet water, bottled water, it's not all these places that are totally clean, in quotes, totally awesome for use. Not all their waters that are actually awesome for use. Some people just package the waters without treating them, which is very, very wrong and unprofessional. Some people just, dig a borehole. They see that, this water is looking clean. They just, run it straight through the tap and just begin to seal their water, which is, yes, as I mentioned, very unprofessional. That's wicked. It is. And to them, they might not even feel it is wicked. They might feel, the water is looking clean, not necessarily, I can't see anything, But sometimes there are strains of bacteria and fungi in them. So please get water from a reliable source. Stop defecation in open places. You see, this case is a big one. That's why every year World Toilet Day is celebrated around November. I think 19, I can't remember the date precisely. Where advocacies, sensitizations, provision of toilets are made. There is a need to have a clean environment. There's a need to have a sanitary convenience that you can reach out to anywhere you are, especially when you're traveling. Most times when you are traveling, you just find bushes around and people tend to do short cuts and what have you. But the Lagos State government have actually been trying. There are public toilets in places, different strategic points where you can just, pay small amount of money, use the conveniences. Sometimes it goes beyond defecating. You can actually have a shower there. The reason why they actually charge you for using it because of maintenance. You need to make sure water is running there. You need to make sure everywhere is clean. They buy cleaning agents and all the things that are necessary so that others can use it. When you use it, somebody else should be able to use it. So they charge you as low as 100 naira for you to just make use of them. So it's very important to be aware that defecation in open places are very dangerous to our health, to our animals, to the environment at large. That is just it. Ensure proper disposal of sewage and refuse. Please throw your dirt where you're meant to throw it. Stop walking on the road and throwing them on the floor. Please patronize PSP. If you know you don't have a PSP in your area, you can call the customer care for Loma's customer care. Make inquiries about PSP that are available in your environment. Pay for them, because these people that are coming to pick up your dirt, they need to be paid. They have families at home to feed. So please, proper disposal of sewage and refuse. Segregate your waste. Take away the plastics. Take away the organic waste. Take away the cans. Separate them for easy disposal. Practice frequent hand hygiene. There's something I realized recently. During the COVID time, somebody said cholera is COVID Junior, which I tend to believe so. We had places where wash hand stations were erected. But after COVID, reduced and disappeared, these wash hand stations were abandoned. I can't even go to where there's a wash hand station because I know there's no water there. There's no soap, nothing. I remember when I go to premises, my colleagues make fun of me. I wash my hand. I go in, I come out. It got to a point that like, whenever I get down, it was auto. They knew, I was looking around for wash hand station. And it made me feel so healthy and made me feel safe. And also, washing our hands are important. You don't know what you're bringing from outside to the house. So I advise people, immediately you get home, immediately you drop your bag, just head to the wash hand station. Wash your hands. Back then in school, my roommate, she made me learn washing of hand was very important. She just tell you, madam, go and wash your hand. I would have forgotten. She just say, hello auntie, did you wash your hand? It became a habit that I wash my hand, I go out, I wash my hand, and it was really something to build as a culture, because there are so many germs everywhere, from bacteria to fungi to viruses, Yes, you can. For me, I believe you can use hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer kills germs. Using of soap washes away the dirt from your hand. I think they're two different things, but we put them together as one. They're two different things actually. When you wash your hand, you can use the sanitizer to kill the germs. When you use sanitizer, I feel you should also use soap and water to wash your hands, to take away the dirt. And have you imagined? No, I can't say have you imagined. Have you seen when you wash your hands? it got to a stage where when I wash my hand, I'm always amazed at the color of the water. When I scrub my hands, it's always brown, and I'm like, I didn't do so many things, my hands are already brown. So they're very, very important to actually wash our hands before and after using the toilets too. Is very important to just take off the germs and the dirt. Wash fresh fruit and vegetables with clean water before eating. These guys that sell fruits, some of them don't wash them. Even when they wash them, they work on them, slice them, dice them and all of that. They don't wash them again. In the process of slicing and, touching the knife, trying to pick the package bag they put it in and things like that, they don't do that. So please wash your fruits with clean water before you eat. Be careful where you buy food from. Be careful where you buy food from. You don't know the kind of water they use. Some people use rain water to wash or rinse plates. The rainwater might not be directly from the rain. It might just be a runoff from the roof. Just put a bucket there and fetch water. They use it like that. Some of this water might contain the eggs of mosquitoes. So we need to be very, very careful with where we buy food, what we buy, the things we consume. We need to be careful. Don't just go into the street and buy anything anyhow. Please be careful. Be very, very careful. It is very, very important. Then cholera vaccination. Find yourself a PSC that can provide you cholera vaccination. I think it's for people above 1. Adults too can take them. Be very, very, very careful. Head to the PHC, to the hospitals that can provide you with cholera vaccination. Vaccination is free, I believe so. Vaccination is free. When it comes to case management, when you have a suspected case of cholera, you see someone that is having the symptoms, in a mild way, you can just prepare ORS for them. There are ORS sold in public. You go to the pharmacy, there is ORS that you can buy. But if ORS is not available, you should look for how to make them at home. First, have access to clean water, because you need clean water to prepare your ORS. You need sugar and salt. ORS is easy to make at home and very effective to hydrate most mildly hydrated individuals, dehydrated individuals. So when you notice, this person is having symptoms, what's going on? Like, okay, you are losing a lot of electrolyte and water. Let's prepare ORS. You have for you to prepare ORS, this is how you go about it. You have 1 liter of water. 1 liter. I think the ever bottle is 1 liter, if my calculations are correct. You need 6 level teaspoons of sugar. 6 level teaspoons of sugar. Make sure it's 6. Then half level of salt. I used to think they were even balanced equation. Like, okay, I put 3 spoons, I put 3 spoons. But it's not like that. You need 6 teaspoons of sugar and half level teaspoon of salt. You mix them together for proper use. Then I think it can be administered. It depends on how the person goes to the restroom. Depends on how the person goes. So these are basic things you need to know for cholera. We move to the second one, vector-borne diseases. Vector-borne diseases like Zika virus, malaria. Malaria is like the most common one we have in our own part of the world. So let us quickly let's run through malaria. Malaria is caused by parasites and is affected by an animal called mosquito. So it is spread to humans through the bite of infected mosquitoes. Let me share key points about malaria to you. Malaria is life-threatening and is often found in tropical countries like Nigeria. When it comes to symptoms can actually be mild or life-threatening. You have fever, you have chills, you have headache, you have nausea, you have vomiting. Sometimes your bones are aching you. I have someone that knows when they have malaria is when they have joint pains. They know it's malaria. I think they've gone through the time of observing, okay, whenever I have malaria, this is what happens to me, this is what happens to me. Malaria can be avoided. It's preventable. You can have your anti-malarial drugs. You can also use a treated net. Sleep under treated nets. Very, very important. Especially for children. They need to sleep under treated nets, including pregnant women. It's a very, very important situation for them. They are like priority when it comes to malaria. Pregnant women, children, I think below the age of 5, very, very important. Try to get treated nets. You can even fix them by your windows to avoid the visitation of mosquitoes. Malaria can lead to death when it becomes severe. It's one of the most dangerous diseases we have in our own part of the world. Even in the part of the world, yes, very, very dangerous. It happens subtly, and what it does is a lot. So you need to take care of yourself. You can use artemether and lumefantrine. Sometimes you need to go to the doctor so that they can give you something that is efficient for what you have. Some malarias can be mild, some you need injections. It varies. So you need to visit the healthcare centers to know which one yours is. Moving on, we have skin infection. We have athlete foot, which is fungal infection. We have E. coli bacterial infection. I'll talk about athlete foot. Funny enough is I just healed from athlete. I don't know where it came from. I don't know. I've been dipping my feet in water for a while, consistently actually. So I realized I had athlete foot. I started feeling itches around my smallest toe. It always happens around the smallest toes. Yes, that tiny one. It happens mostly around there. Itches. From itches, the skin begins to come apart. It's like a cut. It starts smelling. You can't have peace with that thing. So painful. Yeah, it's called jomi. Yes, jomi. I had jomi. So I know what my eyes saw, but it healed over a period of time. So I had to make sure that my foot was dry. I had to apply creams to it, creams that deal with fungal infections. So yes, athlete foot affects the skin, itches, rash around the toes. You start feeling pain. the skin turns red, there's a burning, there's blister, it's dry, smells. Oh boy. So for you to treat it, you have to apply creams that deal with fungal infection. You have to change your socks regularly. I wear socks. Yes, I wear socks a lot. Apart from wearing socks a lot, I constantly dip my feet in water. So the foot was affected. Some people don't wash their socks. They just wear it, continuously wear it. For the fact that even the colors, yes, they wear dark colors. If it was a lighter color now, we'll have seen that it's dirty. But for a darker color, you just keep wearing it, which is very, very bad. And another thing I noticed is it's also important to put on socks when you wear covered shoes to avoid your sweat having contact with the shoes, so that it won't smell. Sometimes you might not have the opportunity of drying your shoes, putting them under the sun to just receive some sun dry. We tend to just keep them. They become moist, then they begin to smell. From there you can have athlete foot. Don't wear the same shoes every time. Also try to alternate them so that your feet can breathe. Sometimes you can just wear some things that will expose your feet, your toes. Wash your feet when you come in from a place where maybe you walk through water, you walked in water. Please wash your feet. Try to apply antiseptic disinfectant to just wash it to kill the germs and what have you. So yes, that's just all about athlete foot. It's also something of great concern because you keep itching, and the way you itch, it can expand the cut. It looks like a cut. You can expand it, which can cause a whole lot of discomfort for you. We have pneumonia, we have injuries during flooding. While you are walking in water, you can bruise your skin against a hard surface. You can literally hit your feet. You can hit your body. It can give you bruises. It can give you laceration. Different things like that, because you are coming in contact with so many things. There are things in the water that, if you're not careful, they might actually cause injuries. Sometimes there might be sharp objects in the water that can just bruise, that can come in contact with your skin, bruise your skin and things like injury. Sometimes you can even sprain. You can have sprains. You can have strains. You can have fractures because you are trying to avoid this particular way and all of that. Next thing you know is you strain your feet, you sprain one part of your body because of this situation. It's funny you have PTSD. I found out that PTSD can also come from flooding. A scenario where PTSD is post-trauma syndrome. That is after something bad has happened, you begin to recall it. It can cause nausea. Is it nausea or deja vu to you? So it freaks you out. It makes you scared. Or like, oh, what happened the last time it's about to happen? Oh, I can remember what happened. And it sends chills. It makes you afraid. You're just like, God, this thing's going to happen again. That's basically what PTSD is like. Let me give a scenario. Last year, it was rainy season. I was going through this water and suddenly I hit my feet. Me coming back this year, looking at this situation again, and I see that it's about to happen, I can just start having fears. I can just be discomforted. I can be disoriented. So it causes me to just be confused and bothered because of something that's happened before. I'm disoriented. That's basically how PTSD is connected to flooding. Or someone loses their house during flooding, then rain falls again this year. I'm already thinking, God, I lost my house last year. Hope I will not lose this year. I start having fears and troubles. That is what we are talking about. Then we have other diseases like hepatitis A. Hepatitis A is a viral infection. It affects the liver. It causes damage to it. So let's run through the key points. It's caused by hepatitis A virus, HIV. How is it transmitted? Contaminated food and water. This same contaminated food and water. So you see why it's important, why we need to prepare our food with clean water, prepare our food in a very hygienic place, a very clean place. We need to have water from a very reliable source, clean source. See another disease that is coming from flooding, hepatitis A. When you talk about hepatitis A, it sounds very, very big. Yes, it is big. It's something that could lead to death. It's going to cause problems with the liver. The liver that is supposed to sieve out toxins, things like that, is not affected. All the toxins will affect the body. It will cause a shutdown of the body. We are going to have liver failure. So these things are very, very important. We need to look into them. Symptoms of hepatitis A: we have fatigue, we have dark urine, some people have jaundice, that's yellowing of the skin and eyes, some people vomiting, some people nausea, loss of appetite, and this thing has incubation period of 2 to 6 weeks. When you look at the treatment, I believe you need to go to the hospital for the treatment. They will tell you what to use, how to have a good diet, exercising, things that you can do to improve your health. Then I believe there's vaccinations for it. Yes, most especially for people that are traveling. You have yellow card. These are the list of diseases you receive vaccination for before leaving a country, and when you enter another country, they have to look at your card so they'll know that you have been vaccinated, so that you not bring your own wahala and come and bring it to other people there. So vaccination is available. Reach out to your nearest primary healthcare center, hospitals, medical centers for more information. So we've talked about hepatitis basically destroying the liver, which is also a vital organ in the body. So yes, we talked about cholera, we talked about malaria, we talked about athlete foot, we talked about injuries, fracture, we talked about PTSD, we talked about hepatitis A. So when we are talking about these things, there are precautions that are needed. Avoid contaminated water and food. How do we even avoid contamination, especially food? So when we go to people that go to Mama Buka, how do we cope with that? For me, I believe it's better for you to just prepare your food at home by yourself. Use your hand to do yourself so that you'll be able to trace it. But if you go out, you may not really be able to, especially people that just eat from random places. I get scared of eating from different places. I hardly eat outside. I prefer to feed on snacks till I get home. Or just, there are some places I get food from, sincerely speaking, places I feel like, I can trust. Okay. But even these places that we trust, sometimes they're not 100%. I've had a case scenario where each week, someone was diagnosed with hepatitis A. The employer didn't see a big deal about it. I think they laid off the person, or the person left the work at some point. So we need to get ourselves protected, get vaccines, be careful of what you eat, what you consume, practice good hygiene. There's so many things good hygiene can save you from. Washing your hand before and after the use of toilet, proper use of the toilet, so many things. Getting yourself checked up so that you know that, this is what I have. How can I prevent my loved ones from contacting this from me? Things like that are very, very important for us to keep watch on. So yes, I believe that I've thrown more light to our wedding season, and I know that it's going to be helpful for you one way or the other. Please share the news. Let people know what happens in raining season. During raining season, what tends to come out in this season, diseases that can come out in this season. So please let your friends and family know how to prepare yourself ahead, know how to prevent, know how to control the cases. Please always make sure you go to the primary healthcare centers, go to your medical facilities to have yourself checked, to avoid outbreaks, to avoid spread of diseases, to also keep yourself healthy constantly, to keep yourself abreast of what is going on with you and your body. So yes, this brings us to the end of our wedding season part 2. Thank you for joining us on this particular episode. Thank you always for joining us in all our episodes. Like, share, follow, subscribe to your friends, your family, your loved ones. Let's spread the word so that we can have a healthy environment and live as healthy people. Thank you for joining. Till we meet again next episode. Bye for now.